Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back to the video. This is bringing you guys some Centurion combos. So I'm going to be showing you guys a few one card combos, what's more 1.5 card combos, as we're going to be discarding the second card here. So this is going to be, in this case, Bonfire, but we're going to be doing a one card combo mainly using stand-up Centurion. So we're going to activate stand-up Centurion here in order to discard our Bonfire, then we can set our Primera. Then we can activate Primera, put it on the board, use the effect to search out a Centurion monster, get out Trudea. Then we can activate Trudea's effect here in order to search out our Emmet, put it onto the board, and put Trudea in the spell and trap zone as well. Then we can use Emmet's effect here, get himself out, synchro summon into our Centurion Legatia. Then we can use Legatia's effect in order to draw a card. Then during the end phase, we can actually put one of our Centurion monsters onto the spell and trap zone. So in this case, it's going to be Primera. Then whenever you get a chance to interact with your opponent's cards, you can actually use Primera and Trudea's effect. Bring them both out here. Use Trudea's effect here in order to make itself into a level 8. And then here, so for this instance, it doesn't really matter like changing Trudea, but in case I didn't have my Emmet, then I would still be able to synchro summon using stand-up Centurion. So we're going to get Emmet here. Then we're going to synchro summon. Go into our Crimson Dragon, target our level 12 Legatia, which will let us switch out our Crimson Dragon, get ourselves our Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Then we can activate King Calamity's effect. And as you guys know, or are probably aware about it by now, but your opponent cannot activate cards or card's effect in response to this card's activation. And then when it's synchro summoned, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field. So effectively making it pretty difficult for your opponent to be able to do anything during their turn, and it's a pretty easy setup as you saw. So I'm going to be showing you guys different one card combos to set up this same board. Alright guys, so this is the second combo that I have to show you guys. This is using Centurion Primera and one card to discard. So in this instance it's going to be Pot of Prosperity, but we're going to normal summon Primera here, search out our stand-up Centurion, then we can discard our Pot of Prosperity to get our Trudea, get Trudea out onto the board, use the effect here in order to get Emmet out. Then we use Emmet's effect, get itself out, synchro summon into our Centurion Legatia. So just so you guys know, it's the same lineup as before. I'm just showing you guys different ways of setting this board up and why you're able to run so little of actual engine and just run a bunch of cards, a bunch of hand traps, or a bunch of board breakers, whatever you choose to do with it. So we're going to use Legatia's effect here, get Primera onto the board. Then during our opponent's turn, we can bring out our Primera and Trudea. So then we can use Emmet's effect here, get it out. Then we can synchro summon into our Crimson Dragon, use the effect here, target the Legatia, and get ourselves the King Calamity pretty easily. But let's go to the next combo. Okay, so with this combo, we're going to be setting up the board using Trudea. So as you saw with the other two, we used stand-up Centurion, and we used Primera. But we're going to normal summon out Trudea, use the effect, get Primera onto the board. Use Primera's effect here, we can bring it out pretty easily, get up stand-up Centurion. So just pretty easy how it's pretty amazing how you're pretty easily able to go into your engine here. And yeah, we're just going to get Primera Trudea just like we did before. Then we use Primera and Trudea, get them back onto the board, use Emmet's effect just like we did before, and synchro summon after this. And go into Crimson Dragon, then we use Crimson Dragon's effect and get ourselves whatever level 12 dragon we decide to get out. And then in this instance I changed it up and got out Red Supernova Dragon. So I'm going to show you guys one more of these and then show you a few like different engines that you could run in the deck and how you can play around with that. Okay guys, so here's another 1.5 card combo using Emblema of Oath, and Nibiru here is going to be the card that we get rid of. So this card was announced shortly after like the first main set was announced, so I didn't get to experiment with it in the first set of testing here. But Emblem of Oath, it just lets you place a Centurion monster from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. So of course you can just get Primera, and because you're able to do that with Primera, it makes it pretty easy to just do what we were able to do. And Emblema here just enables another way of going straight into engine and just overall increasing the consistency of the deck. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to get out Emmet here, synchro summon, go into Legatia, use the effect, draw a card, get Primera back out onto the board. And then during our opponent's turn, just like we've done before, we're going to get ourselves our Trudea, get ourselves our Primera, then use Emmet's effect here, put Trudea back, then we can synchro summon, using the field spell, go into the Crimson Dragon, target Yugioh. So you can see, same thing as you're able to do, even using the new quick play spell, you're able to just use it pretty easily, and yeah, just overall adds to consistency of the deck. And you can see there's 4 ways of ending up with the same board, 4 1.5 card combos that go straight into like the same board. And it's pretty insane and pretty consistent. Alright guys, so one of the engines that I want you to consider is Horus. So here we have Glory of Horus and Protection of Horus, and we're going to be using Centurion Primera. And you can see here we're going to be using Imseti here, activate its effect, just go into the Pharaonic Sarcophagus, and then you can do this like separately from the main engine because we already know the Centurion Primera is a 1 card combo on its own, so we can just play around with this as we'd like. So here I'm going to be going into Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. This is just a way of establishing a monster negation. Then we can go into our actual Centurion engine. So we can use Stand Up Centurion, just like I showed you guys before. Use Shredea here, get it out. Use the effect, get ourselves our Emmet. Then we can switch summon it back out. Go into our Yugioh. Then we can use, so in this instance, we can use Pharaonic Sarcophagus in order to discard the card that we would draw. And then from here, we can actually send Happy into the graveyard. Then we can use its effect to bring it out. And this is something you can just choose to do. You can go into SP Little Knight. If that's something you choose to do, then that's a great lineup as well. If you happen to use the effect of Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, you can get this out. And then if this card is link summoned using a Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or link as monster as material, you can target 1 card in the field or in the graveyard, banish it. And not only that, but when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters in the field, including a monster you control, and banish both until the end phase. So it just adds a little bit of more interaction if you want to go into that. But of course, you could have chosen to just stay on the Exceed as well. So we're going to get Primera here. So same thing as we've done before, you just see that it gives you a little bit more plays to do on the side and a bit more of interaction if you're worried about your opponent stopping the Crimson Dragon play. Then this is the Horus engine, works pretty well. And it's a solid engine overall, as you guys might have seen me test it before. And it's very powerful and it's definitely worth considering. But let's go to the next and final combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so this is another Horus combo. So these are using the same 2 cards with the Centurion Primera. The only difference is that we're going to be summoning on an Exceed monster that actually enables a few draws. So it's a great way of getting a bunch of draws and also getting your SP Little Knight instead of going into the Photon Galaxy Lord here. So we're going to use Pharaonic Sarcophagus just like we've done before, but this time we're going to get Blessing of Horus out here, and we're going to bring all 3 out. Then we can go into our Coach King Giant Trainer because it does require 3 level 8 monsters, and you can detach an Exceed material from this card in order to draw a card. And if it's a monster, you can inflict 800 damage to your opponent. So it's a quick bit of burn damage that you can do while drawing up to 3 cards. And it's not a once per turn or anything, so you can see you can use this effect up to thrice per turn. So we're going to be doing exactly that. Set up our hand with a bunch of cards so we can draw a bunch of things and then go into our Centurion engine in the form of Primera. So we can actually activate Primera's effect, get Stand Up Centurion. Then we can use Stand Up Centurion, discard our Nibiru, whatever card you want to discard. Get our Shredea, get our Emmet. So same thing as we've done before. You can see it's pretty easy to set it up here. Then just like we did before, we're going to get out Happy. Then we can go into SP Little Knight. So you can see this could be a better lineup in case you don't really need to negate. You just want to get a bunch of draws, then you can do that. Set up the Little Knight to give you some interaction as you did summon it with the Exceed monster. Then during our opponent's turn, we're just going to be doing as we've done with the previous few combos here. We're going to be getting it out. So here we're going to be using Stand Up Centurion, get the Crimson Dragon, then get our level 12 King Calamity. So pretty easy setup here. And yeah, it's just another engine for you guys to consider in case you don't want to run the pure build. Then this is another solid option as well. But let me know what you guys think about the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.